time for the tightening in financial conditions and in interest rates to feed into the real economy more openly, but it is happening. And we are having some more signals, I think, as we speak. One of it was the latest job report from the Fed, from the BLS on Friday last week. And, you know, the job report showed that after revisions, the private sector is still adding 200,000 jobs on average a month for the last 3 months, which seems quite a decently strong number. If you look a bit under the hood, you realize the sector concentration of these jobs being added, you know, it's quite concentrated into the government sector, the healthcare sector in particular. And the other thing you can realize when you look at it is that if you slice away the cyclical industries, so that's the manufacturing, construction, trade, you know, this type of more cyclical driven industries, they haven't really been hiring that hard for the last year. Actually, the hiring rate of the cyclical industries, Adam, is the weakest since 2011. And on top of it, the creation of full-time jobs is now negative year on year, looking at the past 12 months. So again, yes, we're adding jobs, sure, but we are adding them only in certain sectors. The cyclical industries are hiring at a very, very slow pace, on par with 2011. And also you have a situation where full-time jobs aren't really being added. And so the quality of this job creation is something that generally shows some emerging weakness into real economic growth. Now, why is it taking so long? Because this type of weakness, we would have expected maybe 6 or 9 months ago or 12 months ago, but it is taking way longer. And this is something to recognize. And the answer there is that the US economy, I think, is better equipped than people think to handle the hit of higher interest rates for a longer period of time. And the main reasons are that American people and corporates have been pretty smart. They've locked in low interest rates for a long period of time. So when you raise interest rates, the pass-through, the cost really of these higher interest rates isn't really felt unless you need to refinance your debt. And if you have extended the maturity of your debt, then you probably don't need to do that very soon, be it a corporate or be it a household. And I mean, Americans have been smart, terming out their debt. That means raising interest rates takes longer to feed in the weakness that you would expect, but it is now slowly starting to happen.
Luck, have fun, and,
okay, so
beat 'em,
the lag effect is slowly starting to arrive. Is that another way to say this?
Yes, I would say so. I think the next 6 to 9 months are going to be pretty interesting because historically, if you raise interest rates and then you keep rates over 5% for a while, like the Federal Reserve is doing, but then real GDP growth keeps being around 2.5%. I think people just throw the towel in on this recession thing.
So
you know, it's natural. Like, how long is it going to take?
Right.
And then people say like, well, okay, something is wrong this time. You start hearing about the neutral interest rate is higher. I mean, those are key words for me to hear. They're like a signal because I heard the same words from Powell and FOMC members in September 2018. If you remember, the Fed had raised interest rates in 2017 and in 2018, and it looked like the US economy was handling that okay. And so at some point they thought that, you know, higher interest rates were not really restrictive for the US economy. In other words, that the US economy could handle higher interest rates more structurally. Or in central bank jargon, the neutral rate is higher, okay? And then Powell said that in September 18, and guess what? In November 18, December 18, the stock market went down 20%, and we figured out that no, it wasn't different, the neutral rate wasn't higher. And now I'm starting to hear that discussion again. And it's human nature, Adam, right? I mean, you raise interest rates, you're supposed to slow down the economy. The economy doesn't really slow down a lot, and it's been now quite a lot of time since the Fed has gone through with this fast hiking cycle. Rates have been above 5% for 3 or 4 quarters now, almost in a row. And then people just say, well, this time is different. The neutral rate is higher. When you start getting towards these discussions, funnily enough, as in 2007 or in 2018, you tend to be closer to the part of the cycle where it's more likely that weakness will show up.
Yeah, all right, great. Yeah, it's the right when everybody decides, well, I guess what normally happens isn't going to happen is usually right when it actually happens and catches them by surprise. So I was talking with a consumer retail researcher earlier this week, Neely Kaminga, and she was saying, yeah, I think that from my lens, it looks like the economy is going to kind of muddle through. She said the thing that would that could change that for the worse would be either if the over-leveraged consumer really starts tapping out. She has these different consumer segments, and one of them was over-leveraged consumers, and that was about 20 to 30 million Americans. I mean, it's not a tiny bucket. And then she said either them or over-leveraged corporations start buckling under higher for longer interest rates. To which, when she said that, I said, wow, I can make a pretty good argument that both of those may actually buckle in the not too distant future. Sounds like you think the pressure on at least particularly those two segments is going to continue to increase over the next 6 to 9 months. Do you expect that shoe to drop? Like, would you expect those segments to start struggling pretty, materially in a way that's going to bring economic growth materially down?
I would say, Adam, what I look at right now is corporates more than households. And the reason why I would look at corporates right here is because, look, if you are a US high yield type of company, okay, so a junk rated, below investment grade rated type of company, between 2015 and 2021, you were able to issue bonds, so to fund your business basically, to issue debt at interest rates around 4 to 5% all in, okay? So you were paying a risk-free rate and you were paying your credit spread on top, and overall you could borrow at about 4%, okay?
Hey, help your
now,
friends.
The 10-year treasury yield has been north of 4% for several quarters in a row already, okay, Adam? And on top of it, you need to add credit spreads that are, let's say, in the 300, 350 basis point area. So a high-yield borrowing rate in the US is not 4% or 5% anymore, but it's north of 7%, in some cases 8%, or double digits even, okay? So why am I mentioning this? If borrowing rates for corporates are high, but for a short period of time, and then the Fed can cut rates and then everything goes back, it doesn't really hurt a lot of companies, right? You have to think of the refinancing cycle like a long line over time. Some companies will need to refinance here, some companies here, some companies there. So if interest rates are high only for this period, it will hurt a very low proportion of the corporate sector, right? Because it's only these companies that are forced to refinance right when interest rates are high. But the longer you keep interest rates higher, the more likely it is that you're going to catch a wider share of these companies that are highly levered, they don't really have a great business model, and so they really rely on low interest rates to survive. And so the longer we go with this higher interest rate story, the more company will be forced to refinance at higher interest rates. And what happens then? So if you are a junk corporate, probably your business model isn't great. You have a pie of earnings, of cash flows, but it isn't really large, okay? And how did you survive in the past? You had a pie of cash flows, a pie of earnings, and because interest rates were low, only a certain small portion of that were had to dedicate to service your debt, right? But now, with the same pie of earnings, pretty much, because your business model hasn't really grown, think about it, you now have to dedicate a lot more of that to paying interest rates on your debt, because you're borrowing at 8% right now, right? And so when that happens, well, you can't hire anymore, you can't do any CapEx investments anymore, so basically you will stop hiring, in other words, or contributing to economic activity, and when that happens, the labor market is going to slow down, the economy is going to slow down, and it starts that cascading effect of finally seeing higher interest rates feed into weaker economic conditions. The process this time is much longer because all these high-yield companies have basically been relatively smart in terming out their debt. So the moment they need to refinance comes much later in time than what we are normally used to in the cycle, but it's about to come. And I think it's something that people don't realize because it just takes time and it's a very slow and boring process. And we live in a world where we want news every day, and we see the stock market going up, and then we tend to forget about how macro works and how the lag of tightening cycles really works.
So if I recall correctly, I think we have something like close to $1 trillion in corporate debt maturing this year, re-rating this year, and then more than that the following year, and then pretty substantial amounts still after that. Now, how long rates remain as high as they are, who knows? And the Fed has already kind of tilted that, hey, we're going to start cutting at some point, right? We'll talk in a moment about how much you think they may be able to cut this year, because I think they've got more headwinds now than they did when Powell made that initial indication. But more and more, I think, kind of like the housing market with consumers, the corporate debt market, companies their strategy so far has just been, cross our fingers and just wait this out. And the Fed's going to ride to our rate. All we got to do is survive until the Fed brings interest rates down, and then we can start, re-rating at less painful yields.
With the meowdy back.
Or interest rates, and now it's looking like higher for longer.
Got to do my
going to persist for some period of time here. Even if the Fed gets its 3 rate cuts this year,
so we'll get that out of the way.
If they're paying double digits right now, maybe that comes down into the 9%. I mean, it's still a lot more than they were paying before, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So we've got this maturity wall coming that you're worrying about, and from other conversations on this topic with other experts on this channel, I've heard them say, look, CFOs aren't stupid, right? First, they loaded up on the cheap debt and they termed it out, right? So they put themselves in the position that's been good up until now, but they can do math and they can see, what? Under the best case scenario, we're going to have to, take on some higher cost debt relatively soon, and I got to start preparing for the impact. So they don't make changes when the debt re-rates. They make changes a quarter or two before, right? That's when they stop the hiring. Maybe that's when they start doing their first rounds of layoffs or whatnot. So as we go into this danger zone that you're talking about, I assume you expect to see in advance more and more of these companies start taking these cost-cutting measures.
Yes, I think you're perfectly right. And let me share a couple of charts with your nice audience here to visualize a bit what we are discussing. So if you look at this chart here, it shows that the bond market is assigning a higher probability to higher for longer. So what I do is I split bond market probabilities into 3 scenarios: soft landing, recession, and higher for longer. I use the option market, which is embedded in the bond market, and then I can design scenarios, and I look at option pricing to understand how much investors are pricing as a probability for each of these scenarios, okay? And if you look at the soft landing, it's by far the dominant outcome, right? Right now, 70% probability is assigned to a soft landing in the United States by the end of the year. So that's by far the dominant probability being priced in. And the recession probability has been, downgraded materially. It's now less than 10%. So people, as we were discussing, have thrown in the towel on a recession. It's not going to happen according to the bond market or to option traders in the bond market. It isn't really going to happen anymore. But I want to draw the attention of people to this red line. This is higher for longer. And higher for longer wasn't really a thing until February, but look at that. Now, higher for longer is almost a 30% probability scenario by the end of the year. And now 30% is not a negligible scenario, isn't it? No. So 30% starts to be a meaningful scenario. And that is happening exactly because the Federal Reserve is coming through with this message that it's different. They only have to do a few cuts. Look at the economy. It's sending really well. But the reality, as we discussed, is that if you look under the hood, so if you look at the non-farm payrolls in cyclical industries, okay, so we're talking about the industries that are more sensitive to this type of refinancing rates that we're discussing. They're more sensitive to the economic cycle. Okay, Adam? They have been hiring on a net basis, basically below 1% year-on-year growth in full-time hiring. So these people, these companies here, are not really hiring anymore. If you look at the hiring pace of the cyclical industry out there, it's the weakest since 2011. So we are at really pretty weak levels. Actually, when we got recession kind of vibes, for example, in 2007, this line was close to 0%, and it seems like we're getting there, honestly. We're getting there slowly but surely, but the cyclical parts of the economy, the more vulnerable parts of the economy, are taking note of the fact that the bond market is imposing a high interest rate environment for longer, and as you say, CFOs have to program. So if they know they have to refinance at higher rates in 2 quarters, they're not going to hire people. At best, they're going to stop hiring completely, so this line goes to 0% pretty rapidly, which is already a harbinger for a recession in the past. But in the worst case, they probably will be forced to lay off some people.
Which we're seeing now. So layoffs from the start of this year have been at a much higher pace than they were last year. And I don't have the chart handy right now, but a chart I've showed on this program in recent videos is one that shows this growing, the surge in WARN Act notices. So WARN Act is, if you're a big enough company, you have to give your employees advance notice that layoffs are coming, right? And what's interesting is if you look at the initial claims data, still pretty flat, right? But if you look at the WARN notice data, this is from like over the past like 6 months, it's kind of up and to the right on a 45-degree angle. So, these guys are tipping their hands, right? They're saying, hey, look, we've been implementing hiring freezes. Of course, we've seen, even in the BLS data, that hours worked per week or hours worked per month are now coming down. So the companies that aren't doing layoffs yet are reducing the hours that their workers are using. So we're seeing what I would consider to be, a lot of early indicators of what you're talking about here. Do you see the same?
Yeah, I think it's the right interpretation also, because if you are on severance payment, you do not pop up most likely as an initial claim type of guy. And there are a couple of reasons for that. The first is that the severance payments can last for quite some months. So by the moment you get fired, then you get a severance payment, and then by the moment you file your claim, then you're going to show up in initial claim. So it can take literally quarters in some cases. But also, it's a matter of, basically the claims or the type of payments you're receiving from the government once you claim basically to be jobless. It's not that great anymore. I mean, in some cases, the gig economy or type of works with, delivery or Uber or other types of work actually pay you better than getting unemployment.
Holy shit.
So there are a couple of reasons why you might want to say, even if people get fired right now, both because of severances and because of alternative type of income streams they can generate in this economy, there might be a reason why the claims aren't popping up just yet. So the situation is, look, I'm not sure why people are surprised that the internals of the job market are weaker. What do you expect? I mean, we have had interest rates over 5% now for 3 quarters in a row. And the Federal Reserve is saying, yes, guys, I mean, we're going to keep that above 4.5 because less we're going to believe the 3 cuts this year. So we're going to basically keep them above 4.5% for more than a year. So what would you expect by the end of the year? I would expect a weaker job market. I mean, that's just natural. And if you look at what's happening so far in the labor market, Adam, I think so far so okay in the grand scheme of things, but the direction of travel is also clear. So the private job
I wasn't supposed to finish these building, but
average,
we got them now.
Blue line, it's 200,000 jobs. And we discussed about the quality of these jobs, the concentration in certain sectors. So if you look at the internals, it's not as good. But from the outside, 200,000 jobs is not a bad number. It is, though, declining pretty rapidly from last year. I mean, the trend is quite clear in that blue line. It's coming down.
Yep.
Wage growth, that's also collapsed, which is another sign, that's the orange line, which is another sign that the job market isn't hot. People are not quitting actively anymore. People are much more conservative. That means they are not getting the wage gains they would get in a hot labor market. In a hot labor market,
the power structure is shifting back to the employer. Yeah.
Correct. In a hot labor market, you want a hot labor market?
So
look
they
at
should
late
have
2021
very few
or
workers.
early 2022, before the Fed hike.
Because that was
labor
a
demand was
lot
very
of
strong.
those
We were
embankments.
having 600,000 net jobs a month in the private sector. That's a huge amount. And wage growth was over 6%. That's a hot labor market, right? And it makes sense. We were restarting the economies after the pandemic, huge fiscal stimulus flowing through the economy. We don't have anything of that sort right now. So obviously you're going to have the labor market weaken. And the cherry on the cake is the U6 broad unemployment rate. That's the red line.
That's very important, I agree.
Yeah, so we can talk about what that is. It shows that, it's basically bottomed very clearly at early 2023, and since then it's been rising pretty steadily, and it's now 7.3%. And I think this broad unemployment rate is quite important because it captures a broader definition of what does it mean to be unemployed. Okay, so the U3 unemployment rate effectively looks at unemployed people in the labor force. Okay, but the U6, the broader definition of unemployment rate, also looks at 2 more categories. It looks at people that are unemployed. It looks at people that are marginally attached to the labor force, which means they're not really trying hard to look for a job anymore. They've given up. And it looks at part-time for economic reasons. So those are people that are basically, forced to work part-time. And they would work full-time if they could, but they are forced to work part-time. Because economic conditions aren't that strong and labor demand is not that strong.
Okay.
And that underemployment rate, so the broader definition of unemployment rate, U6, has been picking up pretty materially.
Those guys
over
are
the last 2
diamond
quarters.
one, huh?
And I think also here the direction
Doesn't take
of
much
travel
to get
is pretty clear.
diamond or
The
masters
job market
in
internals
teams.
are weakening, but again, my question is, what would you expect
Yeah.
to be otherwise? I mean, it's reasonable that it weakens. We're just discussing here, Adam, how fast does it weaken? Where is the landing point? Can the Fed achieve a GDP growth of like 1.5%? Or is it going to get worse? When and why? But the fact that the trend is negative, I think it's undeniable.
So I'm going to try to pull up a chart here while we're talking.
Sure.
But when you look at past recessions, the chart I'm going to try to find shows that the unemployment rate generally tends to be fine, and then it starts spiking up. So as we sort of fall into recession, it's a transition that happens extremely quickly.
Yes.
So the fact that U6 is beginning to rise here, does that tend to be a leading indicator for U3?
Yeah, U6 is generally, being a broader definition, I think it works better because it captures also these parts of unemployment that aren't measured into U3. And if somebody becomes marginally attached to the labor force or it's forced to work part-time, even if she or he doesn't want, I think those are clear signs that the labor market is slowing. The other thing that I want to show, maybe I can show a chart while you look for yours, that looks at the cycle, let's say. So how long does it take for the job market to weaken once the Federal Reserve raises interest rates?
But I remember
Let's take a look at that. So the chart I'm sharing here looks at the inversion time in 2 to 10 year yield curve. So when the 2 to 10 year yield curve inverts, and then it looks at the trend in US private job creation thereafter. So then it looks at all cases of recession we've had since the 80s, okay? So the 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, 2000, 2008, and pretty much today. And the blue line that you see on the chart here is the trend in private job creation. Okay, so how many jobs are we creating in the private sector in the US? Okay, and the counter that you see here, the 0 is when the yield curve inverts for the first time meaningfully. Okay, so the counter is the number of months it takes for the blue line to drop
pictures below the actual frame.
And the recession is the red shaded area. Okay, so now take a look. Every time the cycle is always the same, Adam. The yield curve inverts, time 0. Then you have a bunch of months when private job creation deteriorates, generally from 3 to 400,000 all the way to 0. Pretty much 0 jobs being created on a monthly basis. At that point, you know that you're about to go into a recession. The curve disinverts, by the way, right before or right into a recession. Okay, that's another clear signal. When the curve has been inverted and then it disinverts, when the job market is weakening, you're basically there. Now, if you look at what has happened over the last 5 recessions, the pattern has pretty much been the same. So you have had this inversion of the curve, weakening of private sector job creation, and then a recession which pretty much tended to happen in line with the disinversion. Disinversion can happen a bit before, a bit later, but the pattern seems to be clear. And now you look at the last 2 recessions, and there the pattern was pretty much the same. So inversion, weakening the job market, disinversion, recession. Same in 2007. But look at the number of months that it took in 2007. 2007, it took 27 months between the first significant yield curve inversion and a deterioration in the labor market, which was consistent with the recession, okay? 27 months. Now, we're at months number 22. 23 as we speak, we're entering 23. But the trend looks pretty much the same. The only difference is that we start from a much higher level, 600,000 jobs. That's our starting level when the curve inverted. But we are walking towards that type of pattern where the next thing you would expect is a rapid sequence of disinversion of the yield curve and the job market going towards this 0, 50,000 jobs added per month, which generally precedes a weak labor market in line with the recession.
Got it. Those are fascinating charts, super useful, and yeah, I mean, it explains why it's maybe taking longer than people expected this time, because we started at the top of a much higher mountain that we had to descend.
Yeah.
But you know, we're not that far away now. So yeah, I mean, your
I hope that
sort of expectation of, hey, in 6 to 9
I hope
months we might really start
Protoss
to
on their
see
team
some
doesn't
fallout. I
have
think that
cannons in his
seems to
main.
be perfectly believable given that last chart.
And the other thing is we're talking about the US, but to be frank, if you ask me where a potential macro volatility event might arise, I think you're going to see it sooner elsewhere than in the US, Adam, because other global economies have tried to follow the Fed on their hiking cycle one-on-one, but they are not equipped nearly as well as the US is to handle these higher interest rates. I mean, the ECB, the European Central Bank, didn't cut interest rates at the last meeting. They're basically looking at the Fed saying, hey, give me your green light before I can start cutting as well. But GDP growth in Europe is 0%. And in Canada, it's pretty weak. If you adjust for population growth, GDP growth in Canada is very disappointing. In Australia, you have a weak economy. In New Zealand, you have a weak economy. Shall we talk about China? Shall we open that Pandora box? I mean, I think an accident might happen actually earlier somewhere else than it is in the US. The US is amongst the cleanest dirty sheep, let's say, out there.
Right. In fact, we would expect the weaker players to fall before the US does.
Yeah, I would agree there. And honestly, this euphoria, animal spirits running loose, they run loose as well in 2007 with interest rates at 5% and late in the cycle. They run loose as well in 2000, early 2000, with interest rates at 5% and late in the cycle. So it's
that tech lab.
It sounds like history is rhyming here.
I think people should keep their eyes open, follow the macro playbook, follow the lags, look at the internals, do the work, and don't get pulled into this crazy animal spirit market we're looking at today.
All right, so you're taking exactly where I want to take it. I just want to share my screen real quickly just to show folks the chart we talked about, and then we're going to go straight into animal spirits. So if you see here, this is the U3 unemployment rate. And you'll see right before every recession, it's fine, and pow, it starts popping up every single time, right? So, we're already seeing U3 begin to come up, right? I forgot to mention that in this latest blowout jobs report, the unemployment rate did still manage to jump from 3.7 to 3.9, so we're very close to a 4 handle.
Oh shit, he stopped that from building.
Unemployment. And, again, I don't think anybody believes these numbers coming out of the BLS anymore for a whole variety of reasons, but certainly a very visible one is no matter what they tell you it is, the next month they're going to come back and tell you, oh, you know what, we actually just revised it down by a substantial amount. So we had a massive blowout jobs report in January. That just got reduced by over 35% downwards, right, this month. So turning it from a massive beat to really just more of an average number. Yeah. So, all right, so in the context of this sort of lag of what we believe to see are early signs that the lag effect actually hasn't been repealed and is beginning to enforce itself. And I'm hammering on this because I've talked about the lag effect for so often that, I think a lot of people understandably might have said, hey, Adam, you've been beating this drum forever and it just hasn't happened. Drop it, dude. I think both you and I are saying now, we're beginning to see signs that it's arriving here. Can't take the victory lap yet, but things are beginning to look better. But markets don't care, right? Markets aren't caring about anything that we're talking about, right? So, stocks hitting new highs, bonds doing pretty well, speculation completely roared back. We've got it in, NVIDIA trading at 40 times sales. We've got meme stocks showing life again. We've got Bitcoin at all-time highs. So you mentioned here that this actually is pretty consistent with history, that the markets tended, the animal spirits kind of go wild right before we fall into these recessions. Darius Dale, who's been on this program several times, we've talked about how the party gets its wildest right before the cops show up, right? So what probability do you think that that's what we're seeing right now? That this is the last hurrah before, the cops show up and spoil everybody's fun?
I think there is actually even a connection between the last hurrah and the cops showing up, because if it's true that the Federal Reserve doesn't target Bitcoin prices, there is a potential nexus there, because if animal spirits might even restart somewhere like in the housing market or in the neighborhood of the housing market, then the Federal Reserve starts to get pretty scared, right? Because they haven't won their battle on inflation. People are bidding any asset they can find. What if they start bidding house prices as well? I mean, it's not my base case, but in that case, they would be pretty much forced to come in and, pull the brakes again. Yep. But the point here is Guys, investors aren't thinking macro here. So what's happening is you're having NFTs of penguins and monkeys being purchased for over $500,000. I'm serious, that's happening right now as we speak.
Are they really back? Are we back to that again?
Yeah, we are. Well, you can check, actually, there is public data. Over $500,000 has been spent over the last few weeks to buy an NFT of a monkey and a penguin. So, you know, that's where we are, Adam. Not only that, we are seeing coins named after Joe Biden or whatever the misspelling is of the coin going up 8,000% in a week. Yesterday, I think there was a coin on Elizabeth Warren with a misspelling going up 9,000% in a day. So guys, that's what we're talking about here, okay? It's pure animal spirits. And if you want to move to conventional assets that incarnate a bit more animal spirits, then you can have a look at Bitcoin or gold. Now, let me stop you for a second because people eat me alive. Gold specifically is not only an interpretation of animal spirits, but it also has strong monetary features.
Yep,
that's why gold belongs in a macro portfolio. For Bitcoin, it's more of a new version, a more experimental version, let's say, of that potential monetary features.
A lot harder than his
you also
cannon.
have to recognize that when risk-free rates are at 5.25%, Adam, 4 quarters, and the Fed is telling you they're going to be reasonably around 5% for a while, you do have a risk-free alternative that yields pretty well. If, despite that, you're going to buy assets that do not produce any cash flows, like gold or Bitcoin right now, then probably you're doing that because of animal spirits, to participate in the momentum trade, to feel richer than your neighbor. There's a thing that I call the neighbor tracking error, and it's a very popular concept. So it goes like that. You know, tracking error is basically that difference in performance you might have against a benchmark, right? But what if we say the tracking error against the neighbor? What if the neighbor has NVIDIA and super microcomputers, and he has Bitcoin, and maybe one of these Carvana stocks, which is basically bankrupt, has gone up 50% over the last few weeks? What if he has it and you don't? If you don't have it, then you're experiencing the neighbor tracking error. You're watching him become richer, basically, on paper, that is. You're watching him becoming richer, and you have this chasing attitude, this FOMO thing, right? You have to run into the momentum trade as well. And it doesn't matter whether risk-free rates are 5, 4, 3, 1, 6%. In 2007 and in 2000, the same type of FOMO animal spirits were there. Risk-free rates were over 5%, both in 2007 and in 2000. So you did have an alternative. And nevertheless, people chased assets with no cash flows. This tells you they're not thinking about macro. It's pure animal spirits running loose.
All right. So, well, let me ask this. So Bitcoin, then I'm assuming you think its run-up is mostly due to speculative fervor as opposed to store value, right? With gold, and you're not, you might be the second person in 2 days to make the same comment, but it sounds like you think gold price right now is being driven more by speculation than by a safety trade.
So I need to make sure that people understand there are 2 things going on here. One thing is the animal spirits that are running loose that put people to bid any assets out there right now, pretty much, including assets with no cash flows, like gold or Bitcoin, despite having a risk-free rate at 5.25%. So also gold and Bitcoin have been caught, basically, into the animal spirits type of behavior. But we can also apply a valuation framework to these assets that is more of a long-term valuation framework. Basically, Adam, I'm trying to answer the question, how much should Bitcoin be worth? Right. How much should gold be worth? Okay, those are the questions I'm trying to answer. And that's not the thing that has to do with today, animal spirits, but I think it's a useful framework that people can use to get an idea of where are the valuations and what is the right price for gold. And if Bitcoin might play a similar role of gold in the future as a potential alternative to fiat money, maybe a digital gold, let's say, can I use the same valuation framework to attach a price to Bitcoin? And the answer is, let's take a look together. So let me share a chart with you, starting from gold, okay? And why do I start from gold is because gold has actually served the purpose of an alternative to the fiat system for centuries, and has done so basically until the 1970s, until the gold peg was basically released. And look, if you want to value an asset like gold from a monetary standpoint, Adam, what would you do? What I did is I looked at the market capitalization of gold. So I looked at all the gold that is on Earth right now, basically, physical amount of gold on Earth, times the price of gold. Okay, that gives me the market capitalization of the gold market, which is about, I think something like $7 trillion, okay, roughly. Now, what does it mean, 7 trillion? Is that a lot? Is that too little? If gold is an alternative that can coexist or even replace the current fiat system, then you want to measure the market cap of gold in percentage to the amount of spendable fiat money in our system today. So you want to basically compare the two measures, right? One is an alternative or a complement to the other, fiat and gold. So now you measured what is the market cap of gold. But what is the market cap of fiat money? In other words, how much fiat money is out there? Spendable real economy money. So that's what I did. I took the 5 largest economies in the world as a proxy for the globe, let's say, and I looked at how much fiat money, spendable fiat money, the money that we use, Adam, okay? How much is it out there in China, US, Europe, UK, and Japan? And the answer is that the market cap of gold today represents roughly 20% of total fiat in existence in the 5 largest countries in the world. Why do I think this is an interesting model to look at? If you look at the last 10 years, this has been a very nice model to try and derive where the price of gold should be. And the answer is it should be at about 20%.
So one guy's going to Reaper Rush and the other is going to Cyclone.
The trick is that the stock of fiat money grows over time, Adam. And
I'm
so that
plan on going one
explains why
base.
if you want to keep this ratio at 20% over time, also the price of gold needs to go up.
Has to go up, yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
right
balls, I
now,
didn't fix my
it
camera.
says 20%.
Forgot about that.
Can it get
Rip.
more expensive? Yes. In 2020, 2021, it got to 22%. The same in 2013. So gold could get even more expensive than this. Sure. And I like gold. I've said it a few quarters ago as well. And I think it could go to 2,500. Yes, it can go there. Now you have a framework to try and understand how gold is valued. And the most important takeaway, Adam, is the denominator, the fiat money in the 5 largest economies in the world. Guys, I can assure you that it will keep growing over time because this is how the system is built.
By the time my
The
scout gets over there,
system is
but
built to grow the amount of fiat
nonetheless,
currency in the world, right? And so if gold has to preserve 20% of a growing denominator as its market cap, that means the price of gold has to go up over time as well. Now let's apply the same framework to Bitcoin. Okay, so what I did is I took Bitcoin, or in general the crypto market cap, okay, which is roughly about 2 trillion as we speak. Okay, so 2 trillion represents about 4%, let's say, of the stock of fiat money in the 5 largest economies in the world. And now I can hear already a few people say, whoa, that means that Bitcoin has to go 5x in price, right? To reach the same level in this chart on this axis of gold, from 4% we need to go to 20%. So then Bitcoin has to go 5x. So that means it needs to be worth $350,000. And here I'm going to be saying, wait a second, calm down. Few reasons there. First of all, this guy, gold, has proven his role as an alternative to the fiat system for centuries, and Bitcoin is a new kid in town, right? So you need to apply some slack, I would say, in this valuation. That even if you say, hey, over time, Adam, I would assume Bitcoin can cover half the ground of gold, let's say, so it can go to 10% under this valuation framework. In principle, there is room for Bitcoin prices to grow over time, both because this percentage can go up and both because, as always, the denominator goes up. The amount of fiat in the system goes up, and that pushes mechanically the price of Bitcoin higher over time as well, like it pushes the price of gold higher over time as well.
All right, fascinating. So you're basically saying, look, there are fundamental reasons, obviously, just as the pool of money around the world grows, that these asset prices should go up. But I think earlier, too, you were saying, look, animal spirits are playing a big role in the here and now.
Yes.
How do you think about
Mr.
parsing
Nolly,
out
what up,
the
buddy?
fundamental value versus just the craziness of the moment?
It depends whether you're a trader or an investor. And I would say if you're an investor, you have already built a macro portfolio that has these assets as part of that portfolio to basically serve the monetary role you want them to serve if you need that hedge. Okay? So then you have some gold, you maybe have some Bitcoin in the right proportion in your portfolio, Adam, and now you're reaping the benefits of it. Now, interestingly, you're not reaping the benefits because the monetary system is changing right now. You're reaping the benefits for other reasons, but having these assets in your portfolio can be an added value to your performance adjusted for risk over time. They serve this monetary feature, this monetary hedge feature into your portfolio. If you're a more short-term investor,
see, I got...
then,
I put a shelf up.
I
don't have any of the neons on at the moment, but I got some neon lights on the shelf behind me. I was having problems getting the camera to focus properly to be able to show myself and them, which I don't know if that's even possible.
Pretty vertically.
But
and so now you need to ask yourself, for how long can these animal spirits go on? And it basically becomes a momentum trade. You need to be a trend trader, basically. You look at these things, the lines are going up. If you overlay the chart on NVIDIA and Cisco, so NVIDIA today and Cisco in the 2000s, they look one-on-one, right? So then that's a bit of a scary proposition because you say, well, some of these technical indicators are getting overstretched. Should I jump on the boat or should I be more conservative? But that's a discussion for traders. And you're talking about momentum traders here. And I'm not a momentum trader, I'm a macro investor. So I just want to make sure that people understand why the prices of gold and Bitcoin are going up. It doesn't have to do with anything monetary framework related right now, although you can apply a model as we saw to discount them. It has to do with animal spirits. So then be the judge of whether you want to pursue these animal spirits and try to close the tracking error with your neighbor or your friend.
I got some decor.
Or you want to behave like a rational investor and look at portfolios from a macro perspective. I would suggest option number 2.
All right, I was just going to say that. All right, well, look, this is providing great segue, which we'll make in a moment to your new macro fund, and also just the question I normally ask you, which is, hey, how are you allocating given the current environment that you see?
Yeah.
Real quick, if we can we just go to bonds for a moment, which are really kind of your, that's the bullseye of your expertise. We haven't really even talked about that much. Stocks are raging right now, and we gave nod to kind of how speculative the price action is there. I don't think you would necessarily say that bonds are at a speculative high right now, but what do you see in the bond market?
So what I see is the front end of the bond market, which is basically forced to align with the Federal Reserve, Adam, because the Federal Reserve effectively can influence 2-year bond yields very closely. 2-year bond yields can be thought of, Adam, as the reflection of what the Federal Reserve will be doing over the next 2 years. Okay, so if the Federal Reserve says, hey guys, I'm not going to cut rates, I'm very stubborn, then 2-year yields are somehow pinned basically to a high level, okay, because they have to reflect what the Fed will be doing soon. So you see that happening, right? So 2-year interest rates have been basically over 4.5% for a long period of time right now. So a few cuts are priced in, and not many, and it's hard for the bond market to fight the Fed on the front end unless something is breaking. So until something breaks, 2-year interest rates will be pinned around 4.5 or 75%. But then you look at the bottom end of the curve, and that's starting to send some different signals, right? It's saying, well, okay, dudes at the Federal Reserve, if you don't see the internals weakening in the job market, if you don't see the fact that core inflation is already annualizing basically at 2%, and the direction seems clear, and you want to be stubborn at the front end, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of that weakness in growth and inflation in the back end of the curve. So then the curve has been flattening, again, inverting even more to the surprise of many. Because we entered the year and everybody wanted the curve to steepen. The curve had to steepen to reflect strong fundamentals, strong economic growth, a proactive Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, and none of this is happening. The opposite is happening. The Fed is saying, nah, I'm not going to cut rates. I even expect them now to say at the March meeting, we're thinking about a higher neutral rate. Now we think that the economy can handle higher interest rates structurally. They're going into that direction. I think there's communication. And then the bond market is saying, yeah, sure. So 2-year rates, you're in control, but the 10-year and the 30-year rates, I'm in control. So they are inverting the curve, pushing that potential weakness down the road, basically, to 5, 10, 30 years. And that's been happening. And, I think how this is going to solve itself is when the Federal Reserve has been stubborn for long enough that it has managed to create some damage, or possibly that the damage has happened somewhere else in the world in a systemically important market. Can it be China? It's already happening. Can it be Europe? Can it be Australia? Can it be Canada? Can it be New Zealand? I'm mentioning all these economies because they're structurally more fragile than the United States, but they've raised interest rates following the Fed almost one-on-one. So the pressure they're facing is much more intense.
Better.
And when you think China,
it didn't go terrible.
It's a closed economy when it comes to capital flows. I mean, there are capital controls in China, so if something blows up there, it is hard for that to directly affect global markets. But what it can do is it can weaken trade flows. If China is weakening, China isn't buying stuff from Brazil, China isn't investing in Australia, China isn't investing in Canada, and that lack of flows can deteriorate already fragile situations that are there, for example, in Australia and Canada or in some emerging markets. So I think that this is how it's going to solve. Either outside the US, probably more likely, or in the US, the Federal Reserve is going to be stubborn for so long that it ultimately breaks something, and then finally the curve can steepen, but it steepens for the wrong reasons. It steepens, as we have seen before, just heading into a recession.
Got it. And so it seems like you think this inversion will happen the way that it typically does, which is the front end will come down versus the bearish steepening of the long end going up.
That's correct. And because I think we have already tried the bearish steepening last year. I think I was on the program explaining how that works, that bearish steepening move. And I think we have tried that, and we have utterly failed because we have bear steepen, and then after that we have had a big rally in the bond market, if you remember, in November and December, after that bear steepening. So I think now the final steepening is going to be the typical bull steepening preceding a recession. And that makes me, when it comes to asset allocation, that makes me in general, and I've been and I continue to be positive on gold, because when you have this type of bull steepening events preceding a recession, what happens, Adam, is that 2-year interest rates drop very rapidly. So the Federal Reserve has to change their tune very quickly towards a dovish stance. So all of a sudden, risk-free rates aren't high anymore. They start to become much lower.
Pull your drones,
and
buddy.
If they become lower, then people have an alternative. And the alternative is gold. At that point, it provides you with safety, and people want that. So I think 2 to 5 year bonds and gold are a good asset to have in your portfolio right now. And the other thing, if you really have to have an equity exposure, defensive equities have been killed. So anything that is like consumer staples, utilities, all these sectors that are less sensitive to the economic cycle, they've been left behind. So if you want to have equity exposure, there are decent companies, anti-cyclical, more defensive. You can have those. 2 to 5 year bonds, I think, are great. Gold is a good asset to have in your portfolio. And the dollar, interestingly, it's something that people always say, if the Fed is going to cut rates because of a recession, then the dollar has to go down. I'm going to ask you to have a look at the conditions that are happening, because if recessionary conditions are emerging because something is going wrong elsewhere in the world, then I'm not sure that the dollar goes down in that case. The dollar can be seen as a safe haven currency, as a deleveraging type of currency where everybody wants the safety of the dollar in that case.
Yeah, it's the Brent, and also just the Brent Johnson, as the rest of the world gets in trouble and euro-dollar loans start getting compromised, it increases the demand for dollars to have to be used. So.
Wow, that's the quickest, most effective milkshake explanation I've ever heard of. Great.
I think I've been in interviews with Brent like 4 times already since the start of 2024. He's totally sick of seeing me. So great list of things to look at there. Let me just ask, when you say 2 to 5 year bonds are good, and by bonds I'm assuming you're really talking about U.S. Treasuries?
Yes.
So 2 to 5 because one, obviously it's very safe. 2, if you buy them now, you're locking in a pretty good yield that will be relatively much better than the yield will be if the Fed starts having to cut aggressively like you think it will. So you're going to get that good, nice, tasty yield with safety for the next 2 to 5 years. Plus, you're going to get some appreciation in those bonds as well, right? So it seems like on a risk-reward basis, pretty good. You're nodding at the same.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it's also those are very liquid instruments, which means that if you get it right in terms of the timing of a potential deterioration of global economies, then you have not only locked in good yields, but also you get the price appreciation, and you get a very liquid instrument which you can sell and monetize at the moment when other assets are trading at a discount. When equities have gone down to reasonable prices and you're sitting on treasuries that are making money, they're very liquid, you can sell them, and as Warren Buffett says, you should buy when other people are very fearful, not when they're greedy. And today they're very, very greedy. So I would suggest that you take the other side of the Buffett advice, which is be careful when people are greedy, and instead be aggressive when people are fearful. One way to be aggressive is when you have had instruments in your portfolio that are safe, liquid, and have made money, and that you can monetize to move into risky assets at the right price.
Makes total sense. And I'm just going to pull up this chart. I pulled it up prematurely, but this is a chart of the Fed funds rate over the past couple of decades. And you can see how going into recessions, it is, usually the Fed realizes we stayed too high for too long, and then it panic cuts all the way down. And so it sounds like when you talk about, you're thinking that history is probably more likely to repeat here, that's exactly what we're going to see here, which of course makes the 2 to 5 year U.S. Treasury much more attractive.
The funny stuff is that generally when you proceed to recessions, markets are instead pricing a very shallow and predictable cutting cycle that never materializes. The cutting cycle is generally rushed into and very aggressive. So for instance, in 2000, the Federal Reserve, as you can see in the chart, cut from 6.25% to below 2% in a year. So they cut 400 basis points in a year. Right now, the market is pricing 75 basis points of cuts in a year, not 400, 75 basis points of cuts.
All right. So again, just to beat the horse dead, you're expecting more something like this to happen at some point, correct?
Yeah, I would say that the risk reward right now in positioning portfolios, because the recession probability is so low right now, you're getting opportunities to basically position your portfolio more defensively at very low prices. So you can get that done basically without having to leave on the table a lot of premium. And you should, I think, people should look into that, because it's not been a very successful type of positioning over the last year. In other words, you've still made some money, but your neighbor has become way richer than you because he has had Nvidia and Bitcoin, etc., and you didn't. And right now he's partying, and the party is getting very, very loud, very loud. And when it gets very loud, he's late in the cycle. History says it's a better idea to leave the party a bit early and go home safe. Have somebody else, a designated driver, go home safe in your 2 to 5 year treasuries and sit it out. I think that's something people should consider.
All right. Well, my friend, we're getting near the end here, and thank you for sharing, what you think are kind of good assets to hold in the current here and now, given this condition. But you also are looking to the future, which is, hey, I'm not just trying to navigate the next couple months. I'm trying to put together a fund that's going to help people navigate the next couple of decades. Tell us about that.
So, Adam, I'm launching my macro fund. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I think macro volatility will dominate the next decade. The use of fiscal deficits, the combination of fiscal and monetary, demographics are completely different in China and elsewhere in the world than they were in the past 20 years. In other words, inflation and growth will be much more volatile, and a 60-40 portfolio or other standard portfolios alone are not optimal to face such a volatile market environment. So a macro fund is a very good complement to standard portfolios because it's able, being nimble, to look at opportunities around the world and try to monetize those opportunities. So I think the time is right to launch a macro fund. I was about to say relaunch because I already managed money in my life for ING.
Nice. I played kind of shitty,
portfolio. But I left that job in
ended up okay. I feel so slow whenever I play, like after work. Since I literally woke up like, let's see, like 15 or so hours and worked for 10 hours and then got on. I'm slow. Plus, I'm an old man now, you know? I'm an old man. GG. We kind of killed it playing CSGO the other day, you know? Did you have a favorite map at all, Nolly? I need to find a random music mix. That video is almost over anyways. Peak Focus. Turtle Trance. I could play a few. Get a few Wingmans in or a few Office games. Oh, I don't think you and I did any Wingman. Steve and I did some Wingman on Saturday. It's Wingman's just like a 2v2. But I really like playing the just playing Office map. That's why I queued it like for the first while. It's the one I'm the most familiar with, and it's one where like you will get some try hard, like some sweaty players here and there, but Office is a bit more chill, you know. It's like Dust 2, when we're on that map, that's way higher probability of playing people who are like I'm trying to rake up and be global elite even though we're currently in like silver or gold league. And you're like, just don't, buddy, okay? I think it's only like $15. If I can remember the info for my other account, you could always just sign in, because I have 2 Prime accounts. I have like a dozen emails though, and I don't remember right now which one it's attached to, so it'd probably take me a solid 20 minutes or a half hour of guessing and checking. Maybe not a half hour, maybe 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, I could get a few CSs in if you're looking to load up. Because I'll load up right now, you know? Is it still like $15? I didn't know. I thought maybe since they rolled out CS2, maybe they were like, oh, well, we revamped it, so now let's make it $30 or something. Holy shit, this game is loud. Steve is away. Oh, you're good. I'll go take a piss and get something to drink. Chill for a minute. I think I might need to set up a scene with this game too, because I don't know if my other one has it on it, so that'll take a minute. Ooh, I could power up the old neons too. Gamer lights. Steve is just chilling. He better not be just chilling. At these hours, he should be providing shareholder value. That's what we're all living for. But yeah, I'll send him a message. Swag mode on. I hope now that you've seen my name in this, Nolly, you understand why one of my voice chat channels is swag mode on, you know?
Makes sense, yeah.
Like before, because I actually have, like, see how my little in-game profile pic is that too?
Yeah.
So I actually have one where I can switch it. So like right now, since I'm on the on, which I should switch to the off, you know? I don't want to run it out of juice this early on. I better switch that. Otherwise, we could be in some trouble. I think if I run out of charge, like, mid-match. There we go. I should make sure that's actually on this PC. I think I actually have it saved somewhere in Discord or something too. Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll have to open it up to a few other maps other than just Office because the estimated queue time's 10 minutes.
I'll be down for Inferno instead of Dust. You want to do that one?
Oh, yeah, I thought I meant to add Inferno. And have you ever played Mirage?
I'm not sure. I'd have to like see it.
We'll try it. I enjoy it. It's a decent one.
Yeah, most of my knowledge comes from like watching Shroud play CS forever ago. That's about it.
I taught him everything he knows.
Someone has to, you know what I mean?
It's like he didn't just innately have that skill. Like it came from somewhere.
I gotta get you on that Rainbow Six grind.
I don't know. It looks rough. People always just jiggling back and forth at corners and stuff.
It really is rough, dude. I think, like, in terms of difficulty, I don't know. You think Valorant's harder than CS?
I don't know. I think they're about the same overall. It's just Valorant has like that weird dynamic of having the talents, and then like you can, if you have the right people, you can kind of stack their talents. So I guess in a way it's harder because there's some variables that you don't really know if you're going to be up against them, you know?
Yeah, all the abilities and stuff kind of makes it. It's like a toss-up, especially if you play with randoms.
Yeah, and like the thing that gets me is if you're like in this game, there's a whole dynamic to like if you spend money and the other team doesn't, but they win, then like it's a boost for them because then they win the round to get money, and then also they can grab your guns and your utility that you didn't use. Where in that, like, if you buy your abilities, no one can like swindle that from you. You know, it'd almost be,
yeah, that's a good point.
It'd almost be good if they had like a way where if you died with an ability, it dropped like a little something that gave the other person that same amount of, you know, buying power for the next round.
Yeah, because if you buy and don't use your abilities, you lose them all. You have to buy them again, so it's kind of a hassle.
Ooh, and look at that. We got Mirage.
Let's roll.
Oh yeah, I know this map.
It's a pretty good.
This is a classic one, right?
Yeah. I think it's had a couple different forms, but it's been around. Because, like, I guess there used to be, like, that guy probably feels dumb.
Well, it's 5v5. Oh, 5v5. All right.
Let's give it to them, boys.
This guy's legs are all twisted. What the hell? Oh, there you
go. I usually play A site kind of by default on this one. I go like connector and just kind of watch cat and A site. Fuck. Upper mid. I only saw one though.
Bomb has been planted.
B.
Oh hell yeah. Sleazy slaying them.
No. I didn't take my corner.
Oof. My camera a little too low.
Terrorists win.
I'll worry about it later.
I'll play B.
I'm gonna full save, I think. Oh, well. I guess not. I don't want everyone else to buy and then have our buys all out of sync.
Come on, chop, chop.
A, on site.
Decoys out. Bomb has been planted.
No.
Why is Nicholas Gamer at the wrong site? Nicholas Gamer, you're at the wrong site, my guy.
He's confused.
He literally went around like the whole map to get there too. Like when I first looked at him, he was in apps. Like he had. Don't go now. You're too late. Mans is playing Call of Duty.
He really is.
It was a solid effort though. You jumped with vigor.
I know it was bee hopping.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the head.
Remember, this is bandit country. Shoot everything that moves.
I want to be on my own.
Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.
Are they all A?
I saw one and I saw two total. I hear another like A ramp. Ah fuck, they brought me down to 6. There's one sandwich.
You want A?
I'm connector. There's one stairs by connector. Nice. Well done, sir.
Nice.
We took the piss out of them.
This guy's a gamer.
on my game, and they're gonna go B. You can feel it.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop straight into apps. I'm gonna smoke. I'm actually gonna smoke it, and then I'm gonna hop in there with a shotty. Oh fuck.
Throwing a grenade. Incendiary out. Grenade.
Underpass. One's coming underpass to connector right now.
Counter-terrorists win. Right on.
I'm gonna smoke that again. It seems like most our team goes A, so.
Let's go. Laying down smoke. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Grenade out. Throwing fire.
Fuck! Through the smoke headshot. What a lucky son of a bitch.
Incendiary.
Oh shit, it's just you and Nicholas Gamer left. What a name.
Oh wow, they're all there. When is there a spawn?
You got this, Nicholas Gamer.
He sees him back left? No, he doesn't. He didn't see him.
Yeah, it seems like they rotated.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
It was a good effort by
That was
Nicholas
something.
Gamer. Not just Nicholas. Nicholas Gamer. I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a mid push, like, because then you have, if you can control mid, you can pick either site, really, because you can either go under to B or through connector to A.
Smoke. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.
I have one on A. I got flashed. 3 on A. Landing now.
Bomb has been planted.
I don't know how he hit that.
Up front, and then I think the other one is called, fuck, I can't remember. It's called something odd. It's called like Castle or fucking some shit.
Laying down smoke.
This guy's just flashing.
Smoke. Throwing fire. Grenade out.
I hear at least 2 apps. 2, maybe 3 apps.
dude. I hit him. Good shots.
Fuck! Both sides of me.
Yeah. Which way? Where's our teammate?
One was on site A. On site A?
He's behind the wall, dude, hanging out. Dang, I thought you were gonna ace for a second.
I don't know if Sleazy has Don't Jewel Kids. Don't Jewel Kids is a legit gamer. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can tell by his, what is that, a Corvette PFP? You don't just get a Corvette PFP. They don't just hand those out.
Throwing smoke.
Apps, I hear at least 2. Under, going under.
Throwing a grenade. Incendiary out.
Bomb down mid. He's cat. He's right above me, Nolly.
Alright.
Woo!
Shot.
I was glad I didn't die that time. I would have been pissed because Sleazy accidentally knifed me off the start and brought me down to 70 right off the jump. So if I died, I would have been like, fucking stupid Sleazy idiot. I would have aced their whole team if he would have done that. 30 more health is all I needed. Ah, fuck. I shouldn't have jumped. I thought the right click smoke went even shorter. One's down mid. On side A.
Oh. Oh, behind me. I don't know where that
I heard him. I think they call that snipers. They call that like this area specifically is called jungle, and then just inside that doorway is called sniper. Palace. That's what that area is called. You were asking about. It's called Palace.
Palace. Okay.
It just came to me.
Go, go, go. Smoke. Throwing fire. Laying down smoke. Deploying decoy. Smoke.
How did he?
B. Fuck! My shots were shit there.
Terrorists win.
How you looking money-wise? You need a gamer gun?
Yeah, you want to drop me one?
Yeah, because then you can buy util.
Come on, jump.
Utility is low-key goated. I think that's what the kids said.
Throwing smoke.
Fuck, you do need to jump. I don't know how... Like, jumping with that smoke, it was way too high. And then not jumping, it was way too low. I should just left-click it. Fuck, he brought me down to 11.
Incendiary out.
Oh no. Both on me.
I'm going through their spawn, coming up, trying to come behind them. Nice.
All right.
Oh, man, that dude were so bad. Oh yeah.
I tend to like CT better. I think it's just because I have the M4A1S. I always feel solid with that.
Let's move out.
I feel like I'm better with the AK.
Laying down smoke. Decoy. Grenade out. Incendiary. Grenade. Incendiary. Deploying flashbang. Smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade.
No. Oh, I should have waited. One's Palace. I don't remember what the last one is.
Bomb has been planted.
No, too slow. I saw him just in enough time to start to react.
We will make them regret this day.
17-7 though, I'll take it. Usually that'd be the other way around.
17-7. Sheesh.
Somehow I'd have 17 deaths in only 12 rounds.
Nah, you carry us, dude. Where do we go here? B?
We must win.
Just, yeah. I think, oh shit, we'll just follow bomb carrier. Uh-oh. Orange is AFK.
Is that Nicholas?
It is Caesars B 2016.
They're flanking? Oh. Oh! One's flanking, one in mid.
Kind of wish they wouldn't both have went to market. Cat, one cat. Fuck off. 5-7 is fucking legit. No time.
Going to do this.
Run, Nicholas Gamer. Save your deagle.
Terrorists win.
All right, where do you want to go?
Do you have bomb?
I sure do.
All right, fuck it. Let's go A. But don't go super fast, because I'm gonna throw a smoke and smoke off their cat, like where they spawn from.
Yeah.
Oh, they just mollied.
I'm throwing a grenade. Throw it to the car.
Fuck! Holy shit! That guy domed me.
No.
Damn. I didn't expect that guy to have an Op Junior. Nicholas Gamer wins these. I've seen it.
Counter-terrorists win.
I spoke too soon.
Him and Caesar must
Alright. Fuck it.
Just
We'll go
download the
fast
game.
B. Yeah, it seems like he's trying to play Call of Duty. Like that first time we were watching him, he was fucking jumping up. He like walked up the ramp and jumped. Was spamming his shots with his deagle.
Yeah, you're just holding down trigger and hoping for the best.
Not gonna lie, Nolly, I'm getting a little bit bullish on Chinese equities because the Chinese are building out a lot of nuclear, and I think that's the smartest thing anyone could do. So I think that's going to be overall a big win for their economy in the 5 to 10 year range.
Aren't they having like construction problems right now?
Oh yeah, they're having a lot of, they've like the last couple of years they've been having a lot of economic issues. Like their real estate sector is like really fucked. A lot of their big property builders and like people who build their offices and homes and everything are like, their bonds are trading at like a few cents on the dollar. But yeah, I think they've sold off the majority of their equities, like the US listed ones at least, are at the same or lower price than they were in 2014.
Yeah, wasn't there like some law or something that forced a lot of Chinese realtors out of the US?
I think a lot of it was like them, so like to boost their GDP numbers, to make like most of the world think they were doing better than they were. Yeah. They were basically building a bunch of like cities and airports and everything where nobody even lived.
Oh.
Like they have like hundreds of thousands of apartment units and shit where no one lives in them. They're just vacant. It's just wasted resources pretty much. Fuck. 3v win. I don't win those. I'm gonna just save, I guess. I bought last round and now I can't get shit. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna buy an SG. See if I can't get a kill mid with it.
Move it, move it.
Oh. Did I not hit that guy in the head? One, two, Nicholas is struggling, dude.
Game removed. Oh no! What a nerd.
I don't understand why he didn't plan for open if he's going to play in open.
Yeah. A dig and a dream. That's what I've got.
Guys, I tell you, we kill them all.
I'm just going to try to get a couple picks so we can at least maybe hold a sight. How, dude? I hit him twice with a dig. 2 hits with a dig, and he turns around and fucking pops me? That's bullshit. He gets shot twice with a 50 caliber bullet.
No.
That guy's fast. CPU has got to be dinked to fuck.
Nice. I was surprised he got that molly off.
Yeah, me too. When I saw him taking it out, in my head I was like, just fucking shoot. But he proved me wrong. He did.
This is what we have been working for.
Holy shit.
Guy peeks window every time.
Activating the bomb. Throwing smoke. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. No, man.
I got the COD gun. The Allah Akbar. Well, it was looking pretty good. Like, they were doing well, and then one guy quit, and the other guy team killed and got kicked. Yay!
Nice. That was a good game. I don't know
Yeah.
why he just quit.
Yeah, I tend to like that map. This map, Inferno, Office, and Dust 2 is pretty solid. Some people like the map Nuke, and I think you got to be absolutely insane to think Nuke is a good map. There's too many ladders and shit. I messaged Steve on Steam just now, and I just told him the team needs him. I wouldn't mind finding an office match, but with like 9.5 minutes of estimated wait time, I don't think it'll happen.
Is Office the only one with hostage? Or are there other
I think oh no. I think it is the only hostage map right now. There was another one called like fucking, what was that one called? You were kind of in an office building, and like one team started out on like a helicopter pad, and then the other team started in like one room, and it was you were in like a big ass office where it's like multiple levels and shit. I can't remember the name of it though.
Let's roll.
Oh no, now it's us. Oh no, there he is.
The swag mode is off, but I'll turn it on if I need to. All right, I'm gonna play A and watch Cat.
Play B.
Let's have it, lads.
These midday on a weekday gamers aren't very talkative, you know? Sounds like B, eh?
Fuck, I missed. It's just one B.
2 Cat. Bomb down Cat. Cat looking towards under.
Bomb down. Cat
Nice. I hear him. Doors, doors, doors. No, I was going in for the knife. I thought he'd have to reload. The Nolly J.
I had 2 people. Oh yeah, I did.
Remove any doubts in your head. It's us or them. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke.
Nothing B.
Long. One Cat. Oh, it's on B.
What's our B guy doing?
He must have waited or something.
Lit up on top. Little top area. Nice.
Shooting the bomb. I'm defusing the
Oh
bomb.
no.
Oh no.
Terrorists win.
His Wi-Fi. Damn, he threw hard. That's crazy.
We all have a little Down syndrome now and again, I guess.
Remember, this isn't the killing house anymore. This is real life.
that sucked.
Smoke. Grenade out.
God damn it.
Throwing fire.
How? One's pushing long A.
What?
Our teammates are really bad.
I don't understand how this bullet killed me. He wasn't even looking at me.
Remember when we would have had more money and won that one round, but that guy stopped defusing?
Yeah. This is a hard fucking throw.
Bro. You're just gonna, the second the round starts, stop in front of me like a goddamn jagaloon.
Laying down smoke.
User down on B.
Just saw 1A long. He went back towards the doors.
No, he's lit up. He's on B, planting.
Bomb has been planted.
Don't know where glass one's at.
Diffusing.
Bomb has been defused.
Oh, he's just in the middle.
Terrorists win.
There's no stopping us.
There's really no stopping us.
Remember,
Oh, hell yeah.
bandit country. Shoot everything that moves. Incendiary out. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Smoke.
They're close, right, to you. No, one's top cat, one's bottom stairs. Three v two.
Bomb on me.
Our third just
Laying down
KFK.
smoke.
Last one's there too.
At B.
Laying down smoke. Throwing fire.
He's our spawn. Our teammate's going cat for whatever reason.
Counter-terrorists
Oh,
win.
okay.
Stuff.
I'm confused.
I
Wait, you had the
yeah,
fuser down.
yeah, I had the bomb. I had the bomb.
Yeah.
done. Incendiary. Grenade out. Grenade.
No.
Incendiary out.
Our other teammates AFK. There's one on B.
Has been planted.
Just you, sir.
Deploying decoy.
Fuck!
Oh, good try.
This guy's AFK again. I'm gonna call to kick him. I'd rather have no one and extra money than that guy.
That makes sense.
Are we rushing in, or are we going sneaky beaky like? Throwing smoke.
Off and down mid. 2. Nice. Up down. There's one more there. Good shit. 2 ops. Our teammate's just AFK again.
Throwing fire.
Why are they what? Oh, okay, yeah.
Throwing a grenade.
Counter-terrorists win.
Nice.
It should be broke. At least 2 of them.
Come on, jump, jump.
Yeah, everyone without the guy without 12 kills will probably be broke as fuck.
Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade.
I'm surprised they haven't had like hard A long yet.
Grenade. Incendiary.
God, how many flashes do these guys own?
Incendiary out.
Underneath? Long, it sounds like. Car?
Nice.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now you're right on. You're right on. Go, go.
Why?
Throwing fire.
FB.
I'm pretty sure he's in that thing you're going towards.
No, he fucking flicked on me. He's on B.
Bomb has been planted.
Good shit.
That's kind of a rough spot to try to hide, because if I would have went the up top way, I could have looked. He would have had been looking like straight up to be able to get me.
All right.
Man, I'm really surprised they haven't tried like just a straight up A long push yet.
No.
Laying down smoke.
Up down on my body.
Throwing a grenade. Throwing fire.
Ooh.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think to look there. I forgot that little crevice was deep enough to like tuck somebody into. That's what she said.
Can you drop me?
Oh fuck. Yellow, will you please give that M4 to Orange?
Gear up. We're going in.
Yellow, you have 15K. Fuck. That's why I usually don't throw stuff until after like the round starts, or to throw it somewhere that people can't get it.
2 cat.
Grenade out. Flashbang.
Bomb down long.
Laying down smoke. Grenade. Incendiary out.
On A. Or no, spawn. Spawn. Come from our spawn.
Watching bomb.
Counter-terrorist win.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Surprised that guy wasn't looking at me. Like he knew I killed his teammate right behind him. Oh, yellow left?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it because he died? The other teammate killed him.
One of our teammates did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Gangara.
Probably for the best anyways. He had like 15K and then he didn't even buy anything a couple times.
You gonna play A or B or cat?
A, yeah. I usually just kind of sit on A site and mostly focus on cat, but I'll peek, make sure they don't come out long. Man, I wish I would have done, like, probably almost 6 months ago now. I was like, what would be a good kind of pairs trade, or what they call a parity trade, because you're seen in a way as being indifferent to the direction of the market. You go like short one thing and long another thing, and basically the idea is that you make money as the differential converges, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I think Tesla's still super high valued, and there's a Chinese car company called BYD, and they've been like on the comeuppance, and I was like, I wonder if it'd be a good pairs trade to go like short Tesla and then long BYDDF is the ticker. And they had like Tesla BYDDF isn't up that much, so that end of the trade wouldn't be like performing very well. But Tesla's down like $130 since then, at least.
Damn.
Hell, almost 150. But a lot of those best trade ideas end up not taking.
No, we just pushed through the smoke. I have the gun.
They did?
Yeah, up through double doors. They're B and then up through double.
Bomb has been planted.
Backside. Backside. Nice.
Counter-terrorists win.
There you go.
That was a good half.
Oh yeah, I should have full bot last round then. I didn't even think about it.
All right. Hard B.
Hard B.
B rush, boys. Don't stop. Don't stop.
No more talking. Now we fight.
I'll probably be the first one to get mowed down, but here I go. No guts, no glory. Yep. Dude, the 5.7 is fucking good. I love it.
No.
I never really buy it, but... Oh my god. Just as like a rule of thumb, as we play this game,
Yeah.
never buy a deagle on round one.
Is this what this guy got? Yeah.
Yeah, it annoys the piss out of me because like if you're gonna spend that much, you might as well buy armor, because the only reason the deagle really shines is if you hit him in the head with armor, and no one has a helmet first round.
This guy's gonna die from above.
It's on us, Nolly. That's clear. Toont every once in a while pulls something out of his ass, but Gengar, there's no hope. I'm gonna full save.
Oh, our teammate came back. Oh no, he didn't. I said.
I'm gonna play slow and shift walk into here. I don't want him to hear us, except for our two idiots are following. So, yep. Even though we're shift walking, just run right in.
I'm gonna bait him.
Yeah, try to get that dude's AK. One dude bought an AK.
Got one. No, I clicked. It didn't register. He's at main.
How many times do you have to hit him with a Glock? Is it 15? Is it 35?
Alright, they win the guns, but now I'm buying.
Fuck it. YOLO, I'm gonna buy an op.
Come on, let's go.
No, there's two there. What the fuck? Why are there two there? Ugh. Dirty.
Hell yeah.
24 and 6, you're a mad lad. Alright, BRA. Mid again?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch mid for a second. If you wanna chill in that little thing, whatever this building's called outside of B, and see if any of them push you, and then I'll just try to come like through that stairway. There might be one already back in our spawn.
Ah! Last one's in our spawn.
Yeah, go plant. Go plant.
Terrorists win. We will definitely trade.
I'm gonna trade my op for his op. Hell yeah.
Move it.
2 cross B. No way! Where did my shot go? The fuck? That was completely fucked. One of them was cat. Yep.
Oh, fuck.
One was cat. You got a minute and a quarter, so you're looking all right. That's a quick and easy mute. Don't scroll wheel.
Yeah.
Yep, behind the box. Nice. 36 seconds. You see him?
No! I got greedy.
You'll have that on these big jobs. Fuck it. I think I might try to peek A doors.
Come on, let's go. Throwing fire.
Nothing.
Grenade out. Throwing the flashbang.
I'm gonna smoke CT.
Throwing smoke. Molotov.
No. Am I just getting baited? Good shots.
I just killed our teammate. No way! I must have been a little to his left. I'm gonna go. Fuck. They usually stack B. Fuck it. I'm gonna go down the stairs and through mid door. See if I can come up behind them.
Careful. There's usually people that.
I'm throwing a grenade. I'm throwing a flashback.
I just got flash from my own teammate.
Epic. I really, really hate that it doesn't tell you how much you hit people for anymore. You hear one?
Counter-terrorists win.
All right. I'm gonna light by just a Deeg and hope for the best.
Let's go, let's go.
I got flashed by my own teammate like twice.
Long, long, long.
Oh.
Terrorists win.
I fear no man.
We just have to get to 12 or 13.
I threw you an op if you want it. I think it's to 13. Yeah, because you can tie at 12.
Throw it at the guy. Grenade out. I'm throwing a grenade. I'm throwing fire.
Nice.
We're on a real man.
Maybe they'll actually guard A this time.
This is our fight. Throwing smoke.
Oh, he's flanking. Behind. Sheesh.
I was pretty lucky. I thought that guy was gonna get me.
That was nasty. 33 and 9. Crazy.
That's gamer numbers.
What if you 5, dude? That's tough from them.
Should we see if we can find a game in Wingman?
What's Wingman? I've never played it before.
2v2. One bomb site and 2v2.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
See if we can actually find a game. There's it says the wait time is approximately a little over 4 minutes, like almost 4.5. So if it goes much past that, we'll just swap, go back to regular competitive. Oh, okay.
Let's roll.
Is it the same, like buying and all that?
Yep. There's only one plant site, though. Uh-oh, Japanese characters. That's only one step below Korean characters.
Him and Pablo. So we just have to defend A?
Yep.
Move it, move it.
Guys, movement's crazy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come on, chop chop. Laying down smoke.
Bomb on me.
With you.
If you want to tuck into that room behind you, yeah. I'm kind of watching beside you for him to, like, if he were to creep up the wall.
My left, I think.
Deploying decoy.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, he's to my left.
Nice.
He was hiding behind this little box right here.
Move it, son. Incendiary out. Smoke.
Might lose my fight. Oh, bomb down on me. Oh, other one's here.
Now we're getting stuck right into them.
Pablo is not great. Put it that way.
Remember, this isn't the killing house any. Throwing smoke.
I don't hear anything. Bomb on me.
Balcony, last one. Whatever this is.
Throwing fire. Grenade out.
It's a bomb on you, right?
Yeah. There's an AK down here too. I saw him coming out of their spawn. Ooh, I didn't think I hit him.
A piece of cake, so it is.
These guys probably think we're like global elite grandmaster extra gamer OG 42069 360 no scope rank.
Gonna wish they were never born. Smoke. Incendiary. Throwing a grenade.
One's balcony. Both there. Other one was tucked in the corner. That's crazy. He's full sprinting.
Yeah, he just walked the whole way.
That's it. Fuck it.
He'll never hear me.
Go, go, go. Laying down smoke. Grenade. Throwing fire.
Fuck! I let Pablo get me. Nice. Nice. Well done.
There you go. Are we rushing in? Or are we going? Incendiary out. Grenade out. Grenade out. Throwing smoke.
Oh, I should have knifed that guy, dude. He had his back to me. That would have been fucking hilarious. You'd have felt like such a nerd.
Let's go.
Ah!
Smoke. Throwing a grenade. Grenade. Throwing fire.
He's in that smoke. Fuck. He's in the right corner. He was. Right corner. There's a little doorway.
Incendiary.
I'm on a reload. You got 10 shots. You hear him coming short. Nice. Right in the skull.
Piss out them. It's time now, my brothers.
Let's just rush the left side out of our spawn on this first one.
Alright.
Forward.
Fuck.
Ah.
Right when the molly ends. Well, that was easy. Yeah, I tried to, last second I tried to crouch because I was like, oh, at least that way he'll be able to shoot over me.
Oh, there's only 9? Oh.
Yeah, yep. We must be absolute units. Copper futures are starting to break out, Nolly. What do you think about that?
Copper?
Copper, yeah. That's been the one laggard to make me like suspect of of like being in any kind of a bull market, because everything that like the current market is running up requires quite a bit of copper and other industrial metals, and it's been really lagging behind. So seeing it kind of pop up is it's at least something, you know. It's saying maybe there's actually some legs behind what's been going on. I think the odd thing is that how poorly like energy and natural gas has been doing overall, because that's another thing where it's like anything like the grid already can't handle like the amount of power usage we use normally. There's already like blackouts and spotty power services in some areas. And if you want to build out a bunch of data centers and do all this stuff for AI, we need a fuckload more power. Oh, I don't know this map very well, but I'm sure since it's only half the map, it'll be all right.
Let's roll.
I feel like since we won one, it's about to get really sweaty.
Right?
Wrong lag. South Tower.
Let's show them who we are.
Should I make him think I'm a nerd? GL gamers?
So we're I don't know this map.
Yeah, me neither, really. So you can go up these stairs to the right and be in like a little awning thing, or you can go onto the site.
We're defending B. Okay.
Yep.
I'm above.
Bomb down. Fuck. Nice.
There's only one way to get to B?
No, there's a tunnel behind you too.
Okay.
And then they can also, I think they can also go through like a door, come out somewhere, but I'm not sure. I don't know this map well enough.
Let's go. Laying down smoke.
I can't watch your right side in porch.
I hear one on site. I hear.
I think he's over here now.
Nice. I haven't
You can
seen.
peek that? That's crazy.
Oh, I hear the other one. He's coming to that same place you killed the guy last time, I think.
Okay. You can like jump peek this thing.
Nice.
This is a weird one for what we're doing.
Yeah.
Go, go, go. Deploying flashbang. Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang.
I didn't see bomb on him.
It's not right side. I don't see anything right side yet. Yeah, nothing right side yet.
Oh, I saw him.
Throwing a grenade.
Oh, you can't go that.
Throwing fire.
He's on the other side. He's on the other side of this fence.
There's no stopping
Wait,
us.
so is this the only way you can get in?
There's two. There's a tunnel back by you.
Does a tunnel go underneath?
Yeah, it's like a tube.
Oh,
Like a little drain tube thing.
Move it, son.
So if you go the way, like if you come this way,
Yeah.
you'll see because I'm about to smoke it.
Smoke.
Oh, okay, I see.
Grenade out.
Oh, did his homie must have left or something.
No, I killed him.
Oh, that
We
must
just
have
killed
been.
him at the same exact time.
Oh,
Move. Laying down smoke. Throwing fire.
Oh no.
Flashbang.
nice.
Nice.
Guess I'll just chill over here and crank my hog.
Let's go, fellas. Grenade out. Grenade. Incendiary out.
Tunnel was one. Good shot.
We're in the clear, lads.
All right.
It's already last round of the half, I think,
move on.
right? Oh no, wait. Doesn't it go to? Maybe it goes to.
Smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary.
Wow, what a grenade.
Grenade.
Oh,
Deploying flashbang. Incendiary out.
my molly injured one. I heard it.
Yeah, he was on top of that cinder block pile. Went back right side. Tunnel.
I see his head to your left. Nice.
We took the piss out of them.
I don't know if we're just really good at the video game or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Former President Barack Obama has left the game, shutting down game.
All right. We must win.
Why did they wait? I thought they both left. Oh no. Oh wait, who's
Bot Yanni.
We're
Apparently
playing
we
a
gotta
bot?
apparently we gotta win versus this to actually win the game, I guess.
That's so goofy.
Yeah. bot Yanni's coded to be fucking perfect. We fucking we lose. What the fuck? Me and all my homies hate bot Yanni.
I wonder if people take this serious, like this game mode.
Me and all my homies hate bot Yanni. Bot Yanni.
I want to change my name to Bot Yanni now.
Yeah.
For the memes.
All right, any minute now. We're against a bot. Just fucking start the match.
I don't understand why they do this. Why not just give us the win?
Maybe it will once the time runs out and they haven't joined.
Imagine, makes us wait 2 minutes.
And then it's just like, you win.
I hear him. No?
I'm planting the bomb.
Does he not do anything? Does he stay in his spine?
Yeah.
You don't cry like babies before you die. We have defeated now.
Former President Barack Obama and South Tower. Oh, he should have been former President George Bush in South Tower. Or Building 7. That would have been good.
Dang, I wish Steve would get on.
Yeah.
One with him before he got up. Before I have to get off.
Let's see if we can find an office match real quick. Oh, fuck. Search time came down a little, but if it's more than like... If it's more than a couple minutes, I'll just open it up to the other maps again.
None. Wait it out. Just play this one. I think probably hop off after that.
Word. Hopefully it doesn't find a match too quick, because I kind of want to run and go pee. I'll try and listen for it, though. I'm addicted to these candy peach rings. So fire.
Oh, really? Like
So good.
Like the what are they called?
These ones are like the generic Walmart brand. They're just called Peach Rings Chewy Candy.
Hell yeah.
Not gummy, but chewy.
It's like orange and like darker orange.
Yeah,
Orange
yeah.
and yellow or whatever it is.
Yeah, one side is like 2 shades of orange, and then one side's like yellow. They're bussin'. I forgot to buy more, shit, what's that called? Stuff called, it's like it's a carbonated water. It's called ice something. It's fire. And I'll buy like the,
Oh yeah, the sparkling water from Walmart.
yeah, yeah. And, I'll buy the kind that's like peach flavored. And like a truly cultured person, I'll pair it with these nice peach rings. Peach overload, you know?
What's their original name? Like Peachios or something like that? Peachios?
Something like that from like, if you get like the name brand ones.
Yeah.
Peachos or something like that.
Peachios. Rolly.
I went like many months without eating any candy, and then one day I was at Walmart. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some of those. And now at least once a week, I'll grab a bag of them while I'm at Walmart. It's only like $1.30 or something like that for a little bag of them, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this, Nolly. What we do is you open your OBS and you screen record for a while, and then, do you know the song Dude, I Totally Miss You by Tenacious D?
I don't think I've heard it.
It's just a meme song, you know, like anything Tenacious D does.
Yeah.
And it's just like the whole chorus is like, dude, I totally miss you. I really fucking miss you. Dude, I totally miss you all the time. And then it shows like us, and like what you do is with your film editing skills, you like, it's that song playing, and then you like slowly zoom in to us in a party, but Steve's profile pic as a way underneath. And then just like have it fade into the main picture on the screen, and then right when the main part hits, where he like really gets into it, he's like, dude, I totally miss you, gets real high. And then just send it to Steve. He'll be like, man, I missed out. I totally missed your honesty.
I just looked, and I have almost 600 hours on Apex Legends. I didn't realize I played it that much.
I've probably a couple hundred hours in it. When it first came out, I played it a decent amount. And then I didn't play it for like 2 or 3 years, and then I played it again. Like, it's probably been a year or so ago at this point, but I played it. There was like a couple weeks straight where my buddy that streams Dark and Darker was playing it, and we'd get on and play a few games.
Does he still play Dark and Darker?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much he's been streaming. I know sometimes he works like he's a plumber, and he'll get jobs that are like a ways away. So then if he gets home real late, then he won't like play much. Which I should try out that game. I spent like, I think it was like $30 or so to buy it. I bought it, downloaded it, played it for like 20 minutes one night with them, and then I haven't opened it again since.
Yeah, I can't play games that require like 100 hours, you know? Like,
yeah. And that's the thing, like, I just feel like if I'm going to put time into a game, a lot of times I'm like, would I have more fun and appreciate it more to just get even better at StarCraft, like get good? Or would it be worth it to play a game where I'm not going to like, I know there's no chance I'm going to like really commit to it for that long, you know?
Yeah. I just watched a Dark versus Stats game for StarCraft. It was pretty crazy. Pretty entertaining to watch.
Who was playing it?
Dark versus Stats?
Oh, yeah. So Protoss versus Zerg. Yeah.
Yeah. Protoss be looking crazy. I didn't look up the new, I know there's like a new patch that they're suggesting right now, but I didn't look it up.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a notorious guy in the StarCraft community who goes by Avilo or Avilo. And I watched a YouTube video of him going over the patch notes and just freaking out over everything because that's what he's known for. It was pretty good. Like, the few changes they're making, they say are to make, like, Terran versus Protoss better. Like, they kind of nerfed the Widow Mine and they did a couple other things, but they didn't adjust Zerg at all. So he was freaking out because he's like, Zerg is already the harder of the two to beat, and you're making these things to nerf Terran against Protoss to some degree, but you're not actually doing anything to offset the fact that it's going to make Terran even weaker against Zerg. So he just went on a nice rant about that. All right. I'm opening it up. We're like a minute over what it said it was going to take. Hopefully we get a Inferno. Did you say you'd played some on Inferno?
Yeah. Just from the Wingman, and mostly just watched it. You played on. I don't think I've ever played on it.
It's solid. It's no Office, but I mean, what is, you know? Man, I should have bought 10 packs of peaches, chewy peaches instead of one.
Dang, the engineering bay that they're suggesting they reduced it all by a lot. That's kind of crazy. Then they nerfed the Cyclone after they buffed it. Makes sense.
And then a change I thought that could be pretty good is they made the armory, like the upgrade building for mech units, cheaper because mech units already cost a lot of gas. So then, like, if you wanted to get mech units and have any chance late game, you needed to get upgrades. But to have enough gas to get the upgrades and, like, the proper amounts of units just to defend yourself, you really couldn't do it until you were on, like, a solid 3-base economy. And if they did, like, a really strong 2-base pressure, it was like you basically had to play to defend a 2-base pressure. But then if you played like that and had the units to do that, you couldn't afford upgrades really. So it like put you in this hard position of not really being too viable, especially against Protoss. You really couldn't go mech against Protoss at all. So hopefully that change will have a little bit of benefit to mech, make it maybe usable.
Yeah, I feel like they barely did anything for Protoss, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't even remember what he said. Like, what?
Yeah, they didn't really do anything. It's kind of crazy. They buffed the Observer, but that's not really...
You know what I think might have happened? Like, there's already probably been chatter on Reddit and all the forums about us just running train on Deathmatch. And, you know, somebody at Valve probably caught wind of it. And they're like, all right, we got to, like, kind of shadow ban / shadow rank these guys into global elite. So it's having a hard time matchmaking, because obviously it's going to put us against people who are, you know, pretty much the best there is to be able to match our raw skill.
I wonder if people look at my profile and see I only have like 7 hours on this game. They're like, what the fuck?
I mean, I want nat gas to show some life again. It was doing good for a few weeks there. Now it's just kind of drifting downward.
I put all your money in gold.
Yeah.
To make a Rolex.
Gold and Bitcoin. I think gold's still about at its all-time highs.
Yeah. Which is weird, because you wouldn't think gold and Bitcoin... I guess they wouldn't trend the same way, but I feel like they tend to do.
Yeah, I think because it's a lot of the people who really like Bitcoin like it for the same reasons of people who really like gold, because like fiat currency, like our standard currency, is always debased. Like every time they print more, they do more quantitative easing and manipulate the money supply.
Yeah.
It you know, by definition, it creates inflation, because you have the same amount of goods in the economy and you're printing more money going after the same amount of goods. And so they see like the moves that the government and the well, I guess they're also the government, but the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Secretary, the kind of stuff they do. So it's like people who buy gold a lot is because they don't trust currencies that much, or they at least want to be, you know, hedged against the potential weakening of the currency. Whereas Bitcoin is kind of the same. Like it has a fixed supply of 21 million, and it has that aspect of like, okay, people can't just like inflate this away arbitrarily, you know?
Yeah.
But what was really weird is like for a long time there, the NASDAQ and Bitcoin were trading like spot on. Like you could overlay the charts on each other, and like Bitcoin was just basically a leveraged version of the NASDAQ. Like if the NASDAQ went up, you know, 1%, Bitcoin went up 2%. If the NASDAQ went down 1%, Bitcoin went down 2%. And they've kind of they're still kind of trading the same, but they've decoupled a little bit.
Bitcoin's just an anomaly to me.
Yeah. I still just don't quite trust it. Plus, I feel like if somebody has, I feel like for me, like I don't really want my currency to be something that is so volatile, because currency to me is kind of like a storage for savings.
Yeah. So
it's like, if you're using it as like a somewhat to a savings vehicle, and then you get up one day and it's dropped 10%, that's gonna feel pretty shitty.
Let's move out.
And here's the big risk that I think a lot of people don't think about in terms of crypto is, have you heard the term CBDC?
No.
So it stands for Central Bank Digital Currency, and Europe's already like pushed it out to some degree.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the goal over the next decade or so. And the thing is like if we did make a CBDC, literally anytime the government wanted to, they could just go, hey, it's now illegal to use Bitcoin as legal tender because we don't want it to compete against our currency. And they could just outlaw it entirely.
Yeah. Wow, that guy just shot me in the head. What is this guy looking at? What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh, this guy's fucking crosshair is crazy.
Yeah. That's the guy I was watching too. He has super slow reaction time too.
This last guy is kind of different. We Premiere.
What's
going on?
I'd love for dude to just like line up and fucking bop them both. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, the guy killed me. He just wide swung and shot me in the head. So.
Bomb has been planted.
They changed the look of this map a little.
Did they?
Yeah, like it doesn't. They reworked it. There's like that pallet he's standing next to didn't used to be there. And there's a couple other changes.
I see. Why did this guy stop defusing?
Let's go, Texas Toast.
Bomb has been defused.
I can't look at this guy's crosshair anymore.
Yeah, it's abysmal.
Let's go. Incendiary out. Grenade out.
I'm coming towards you.
Yeah, I got two of them. No. I lit two of them up. Good shit.
I think I have enough time. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I should have enough time.
Huge. Counter-terrorists win. Right on. What on? Laying down smoke.
Really? You're still sitting there watching mid. Jesus fuck.
I got flashed on B.
Two of our guys, I guess, are just AFK. Nice.
Good.
Molly.
You're right on.
He didn't tell me you had a swag mode. There's no way swag mode wasn't on right there.
We're about to go A, I think.
Remember, this isn't the killing house anymore. This is real life.
so should be running.
Throwing fire. Grenade. Flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
On me.
Coming over to A right now.
Counter-terrorists win. Champion.
We're the best to ever do it. I'm pretty sure.
Move it. Move it. Smoke. Smoke.
Alright, I'm coming back to B. These other idiots are all over here.
Throwing fire. Deploying decoy.
Rotating to A right now, so you know.
Yep, I'm going through, I forgot what this is called.
Incendiary out. Bomb has been planted.
Holy fuck!
Just sitting right there.
He fell back? I don't think I'll have time.
Terrorists win.
First time I ever heard that. VIP music, or MVP music.
These guys just play super slow.
Alright, Rex, you gotta pick it up, you know?
Remember, this is bandit country.
I don't want it to run out. I can only turn it on if it's absolutely necessary.
Throwing fire.
Each charge only lasts a couple rounds.
Grenade out. Grenade out. Throwing smoke.
Oh, you can get up top there? What the fuck? This map's weird compared to the others.
fuck? He's just gonna push me? What the fuck?
God, timing.
I'm defusing the bomb. Defusing.
Nice.
No time. Right? Oh! Holy shit. He had less than a second.
Piece of cake, so
That's kind of crazy.
What an absolute mad lad.
let's show them who we are. Incendiary. Throwing a grenade. Throwing a grenade. Throwing fire.
Not Texas toast.
No. I hate the ops.
He's gonna op me. Yep.
Called it. Alright, I'm just gonna sit on B.
Yeah, we're making their job easy.
Yeah.
Like, our 3 dudes that are with us, too, just, like, run the whole map every time. Appreciate the follow there. Samarth, I think is how I say that. Hopefully.
Laying down smoke.
Hello.
Grenade out.
Hopefully you haven't come for epic gameplay. Because my swag mode's off right now. I'm doing alright. Yourself?
One down B.
Grenade out.
He's pushing. Scooper's running in.
Not sure what that second guy was doing.
I'm holding B. Let me know to rotate.
Nice.
There you go. Let's have at it, mates. Smoke. Grenade. Throwing
Couple
fire.
B.
been a long time since I've played any Halo. It'd be epic if Texas Toast wasn't just following me everywhere I went.
Oh no.
Oh, through the smoke! That was an epic gamer moment.
Nice.
That was pretty legit.
What did you get? 4 kills?
Yeah, 3 of them were through the smoke. I heard all their footsteps on the other side, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just spray. Yeah, these guys play really slow. A lot of times people like rush up at whatever that thing's called, the hallway thing, or into apps. Our homies just love to put themselves in terrible situations. I wasn't paying attention there. I was looking at the mini map and almost died. Oh, hell yeah.
You want an op? Is this an op?
It's an SG.
Oh, is it? Fresh.
I got ridiculous amounts of money.
Let's give it to them, boys.
I better go A. I've been going A. Yeah, the keyboard cam is mostly for when I'm playing StarCraft, because then you gotta be real quick. Oh, hell yeah.
Bomb has been planted.
It's gotta be at B. B?
Is that B?
Yeah. I was basically on A.
Incendiary out.
Fuck.
Throwing fire.
Go defuse, defuse. E. Hell yeah.
Counter-terrorists win. Easy peasy lemon squeeze.
Flabbergasted. And that's not one you hear very often, you know? Hopefully flabbergasted in a good way, you know?
Remove any doubts in your head. It's us or them.
Wow, that guy just swung at me in the head.
Laying down smoke.
I wish I was loaded. I just spend a ridiculous amount on my setup.
Good shot.
My setup probably costs more than my car. Actually, it literally does.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, that guy didn't even shoot his gun. That guy probably picked up a knot. Okay.
I'm defusing the bomb.
You want that op? I'll pick it up.
Nice.
Oh, Roger. I meant to pick up that AK, so when I picked up that MP5, I was kind of like, oh fuck.
Dang, you two are hard carrying us right now.
If only. Big money. The Jeff Bezos of gaming. I hear one more coming arches.
Why is this guy gonna shoot me?
Terrorists win.
Good round. Well, it helps if you don't have like kids or any other responsibilities either, because I don't have to spend money on other stuff. What are you in school for? I legit thought there was only one left. So when I killed that guy and the round didn't end, I was a little surprised.
Okay, going Diggy. Oh no. Cool. That's fun.
Oh fuck, I don't know where to throw this anymore. So they changed the map a little bit. Fuck! Fuck, I'm running away. 4 health. I don't know where to throw that smoke anymore. Because they changed the map. There used to be like a little peak on the church building, and if you lined up your smoke with that, it perfectly smoked T-spawn, or CT.
What the? You can open that door?
Yeah, you gotta hit E. Thought I saw a guy there. I really wish this guy wasn't just walking behind me everywhere I go.
Texas House, man. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Fuck, I saw him too late. Business admin, eh? Solid degree. I feel like you can, there's like 1,000 different jobs you can do with business admin.
Let's go, let's go.
That was loud as shit. Epic. I'm glad our teammate mollied us off.
I know.
I hate all of these people.
I'm planting the bomb.
Nice.
Bomb has been planted.
That's kind of that's the realm I like to delve into myself. I'm big at econ and trading nerd.
Terrorists win. We have all the
Hence the setup with all the charts.
Yeah, I didn't do anything that round. It's crazy.
We are going to win.
Well, I think it's damn near bedtime for me.
Yeah, dude, you've been up for what? Almost 20 hours?
Yeah, I got up at like a little shy of 20. I think like 8. I think about 8:30. My first alarm went off at like quarter after, and then I slept a little longer. And then I also got like 2 more you can't really see that are hooked up to a different PC over there. My older ones I don't really use anymore. But hopefully I will see you again, Mr. Samarth66. I'm about to hop off and go to bed before too long. So, what is today? Today's Wednesday. There's a decent probability I'll be on tomorrow around the same time, and then Friday and Saturday I'll most likely be on for a handful of hours. But with that,